can't stay for too long. Got an appointment at 1 o'clock in 1 hour for now, so.
Welcome to Flat Earth Debate. I'm your host, Nathan Oakley, and if you are new to this channel, or you have not done so already, be sure to subscribe and hit the bell notification icon to keep up to date with the Flat Earth Debate. If you would like to support this channel, there is a super chat that runs alongside the show while it is live, and a link in the info box once the video has rendered. If you would like to join the discussion, simply mute the page you are currently watching, then click the link in the info box to join the panel and express your views on the shape of the Earth. There are a couple of rules in the Hangout. Number one, please don't swear. If you do, you'll be ejected, and if you are, please don't try to rejoin the stream using sock accounts. You'll be warmly welcome back on the next stream. In a moment, I'm going to transition across to the Hangout, as we do have Arwin waiting in the wings to get an introduction. But in the meantime, please share the show. Sharing the show obviously increases the audience, but this in turn increases the chances of a more diverse panel. So please share the show. And one last time, if you are new to the channel or you have not done so already, be sure to subscribe and hit the bell notification icon to keep up to date with the Flat Earth Debate. With that, I'll say my first introduction to Arwin. How are you doing, Arwin? Can you hear us?
Yeah, I can hear you perfectly fine. Yeah, I'm doing great.
Slightly obsessed with who
Had a
Alan
very
Bennett is, though, aren't you?
interesting night.
I was saying you're slightly concerned with who Alan Bennett is, and I've said, don't worry about it. You're never going to know. Who cares?
It's just, I guess it's like a novelty curiosity. Like, I really want to know who that person is, because it's not what they're acting, for sure.
Sure.
Just my senses are telling me this with the 90% certainty. So
But
just
it's
wondering
a guy.
who it is. Who could it be? Who could it be?
Just some guy, you know. Just call him Alan, and
Yeah, but
accept that
which
he's Alan.
some guy?
Well, in the same way as, you know, Tim Osmond's not really Tim Osmond. It's just some guy, you know, who knows who he is, but he's just called Tim Osmond. So you just get used to calling these people what they are. I mean, I found out yesterday that
Yeah, but
Pete
is
Shea,
it the same guy, or which one of the mysterious guys is it? That it's just, yeah.
or it could be none of them. It could just be literally that's just the account name he's picked. You know, if you're going to pick some random account name, your chances are you
Yeah,
just
but they
use it.
still only have one voice. You know, it's not going to be a robot.
Yeah, but it's just him. That's just the voice he picks to use when he comes into Hangouts. It doesn't mean it's someone else.
But I mean, is that he's still going to use the, how do you say, the verbal cords of his throat. And there's only so much options you can do acting voices. So
Gotcha.
you're going to figure out by their voice if it is a certain person or another. And I just wonder which one of the mysterious, unnamed, non-faced people is it?
Yeah,
I was listening yesterday and I thought it sounded a
there
bit
he
like...
There you go. You can ask him. Hi, Alan.
Oh, hello.
Hello.
Hey, Ellen.
And I thought it sounded
So which one are you?
Hi, Alan.
Oh, hello.
Hello.
You're echoing.
You've got your watch page on, Alan.
Oh,
Mute
I've
your
corrected that now, thank you.
No worries. So I've
My
just been
ears
saying to
were
Arwin
burning.
that you're just Alan, and that's who you are, in the same way as Tim Osmond is Tim Osmond, even though that's not really who Tim Osmond is, you know. But Arwin is under the impression that you're perhaps one of the other faceless potatoes. But I'm saying no, you're just you.
I'm
right?
very much Alan.
That's what I said.
Well, maybe Alan is your actual name and you're now coming out of the shadows, which is very brave of you.
Thank you, Owen.
You're welcome.
I'll be honest, I'm with Arwin. I can't listen to Alan B without thinking, all right, then who is that? I recognise that tone. For me, it's a cross
I just
between...
see a Monty Python actor acting like a female. Sorry, it's not. I'm not trying to be mean. That's just what I'm seeing every time I hear you speak. So
You're weird.
I just got associations. That's it. But I'd love to see your actual face moving on camera. It is kind of a
I bet you would.
baptism test. You have to kind of prove that you're really a person.
For the record,
way.
I
So
couldn't care less
if
who you
you're
are,
actually
Alan.
genuine and you really be like, hey, Alan B, I am a real guy, then you have to do that. Otherwise, you're gonna be a puppet, no matter what.
But who
Then
cares who
maybe
he
I'll
is?
come on your hangout later.
Who cares who he is, though? Seriously, Arwin.
Is that
Who
the
cares?
deal?
Does it matter?
Maybe. We
I
don't
don't
know
think
yet.
it does. I don't care who
You
you are,
see-
Alan.
Nathan understands the value of entertainment.
Indeed, I'm a YouTuber.
Well, anyway, it doesn't really matter in the end because you're pretty tied down baller, so that does reveal at least some the background motivation.
I don't think we've ever
I
asked
have
him
an
actually.
open
Are you a
mind,
baller?
Darwin.
Do you believe in the ball Earth, Alan?
The thing is, Nathan, I struggle to get out of bed these days, so worrying what shape the Earth is not top of the list.
Then why
Good
do
point.
you actually come in the hangout panel on Flat Earth debates?
I like talking to you guys,
That's
and
nice.
I'm lonely.
Okay,
Fair enough.
that is weird.
Being a pensioner's no fun.
But you must have a vague interest in the shape of the Earth, because this is obviously you've got plenty of other hangouts that could, you could exercise the social aspects elsewhere, but you picked this one, so I'm just interested. There must be some aspect of the shape of the Earth that fascinates you.
Well, I like to count the hours that you and Riley, Nathan and Riley and Nathan have been talking about the same thing. 110 hours.
I asked you yesterday, did you incorporate the hours that other people outside of Anthony and Riley spend on it?
No. Although I did watch Rumpus's video. Whew.
There you go. You can add those into the hours too.
No,
And I'll
just
count
you
up
and
the
Riley.
hours that you have
Riley,
spent
Nathan,
watching
Nathan and Riley.
Anthony and Riley. Seems you've spent quite a long time accumulating the
Where's
hours
Rant?
watching. Thank
Where's
you. Though.
Ranting?
I don't know where Ranty is. He'll probably make an appearance later.
He's
he
not
have a
here
hangout?
right now. You can leave a message.
You just leave it with the secretary. He'll file it under R.
Is Owen his secretary?
No. Imaginary secretary that'll file it in an imaginary filing cabinet.
I'm a secretary of Skype.
Does he have an head like an orange?
Ranty?
Yes.
Well,
A head like an
not
orange?
really. I didn't think it was orange shaped.
Every time Alan gets asked about the shape of the Earth, he kind of avoids the answer, in my opinion.
Does seem to be the case. A case of oranges in this case.
He'd rather talk about people's orange-shaped head.
How's the powder?
How's the powder?
Powder. Owen's powder. Horny goat.
Oh, powder.
Yeah, he's talking about the horny goat weed again. Can't get over that. Look,
This is
if
an
you're
InfoWars
really
thing,
so
right?
depressed that you feel the need to basically come to the Flat Earth debates just to hang out with us without actually being interested in the Earth shape, then maybe you should get some of that yourself.
Wow.
It really
I
helps. It
know,
really
it's-
helps. It helps you create testosterone in your body. It's probably something that it is said at an older age the testosterone production of your own body decreases, but testosterone really does help for your confidence and it helps against depression. So if that is the case, then I would definitely recommend you actually take the alpha power, despite you feeling it's really funny. You should get it, and you'll probably feel a lot stronger than you have in years.
Put some hairs on your chest, Alan.
Well, that too, maybe.
And you know what they
but
say with pensioning?
it'll at least give you a sense of adventure. Like you'll actually start to feel like, yeah, I want to get out there. I want to meet people. I want to do stuff. Want to try out new things. That's the type of thing that a heightened testosterone will actually do to you, to your mindset.
How would you like to pay? How would you like to
Maybe
pay,
that
Alan?
will help with my bowling.
Will help you
It
getting
will
up in the morning?
definitely.
Well, you know
Send
what
your
they say
check to
about pensions.
www.infowars.com.
Yep, infowarsstore.com alpha power. I highly recommend to anyone.
Or hit that
Okay.
super chat if
Including
you've been enjoying the
females,
hundreds of
by the
hours you've
way.
spent watching
It's
the
not
Isle of
just
Man
for
info.
men.
Okay, I'm just going to make a cup of tea.
Put some goat weed in it.
Goatweed tea. I don't know.
So, anything new?
Anything new?
Yeah.
Well, yeah. I mean, after all of the... Oh, got a new guest. More important than me. How you doing, Ali?
Yeah, it's me. All right, how you doing, guys?
What's new,
How you doing,
Alan?
Ali?
Doing great.
Hi, Alan. How you doing, Mr. B. Arwin?
Hey, Ali.
Hi, Ali. You worked it out yet? Left from right. The Earth's spinning on a different side. Up and down, up and down.
Weren't you gonna get some tea?
Yeah, I was just thinking the same.
Hey, don't be rude.
Go and get your tea, Alan.
Oh, wait a minute. I need to answer it. No, I haven't actually. I'm gonna, if it's all right with you, I'm gonna have a hangout later on where I've got a globe and a ring, and I just want people to, show me, because it's not. It doesn't.
It doesn't compute, does it?
It doesn't compute what I'm seeing with what I'm the way that I'm doing it with the globe and the ring. I'm looking at it, and I'll be looking at it, and I can't see. There's only one way I can get it to come from the other side up past the moon. At the moment, I might be missing something. So, like as I say, I'll be having a hangout in a few hours.
I tell you what, Ali, I'm glad you don't direct traffic.
Because it's what do you call it? No, no. I keep myself to myself. I don't encroach in other people's rights. It's not for me to run about and tell people what to do. So no, that's immaterial with my left and my right. So, but thanks for being concerned about your fellow people.
You seem like a nice man.
It's just
We're all nice guys.
Maybe
all
one
flat
day you
earthers
can
are
come round
nice.
and do my garden.
What size of garden you got?
It's probably 24 yards by 30. It needs some attention.
Wow. Lucky.
All right, okay. Well, I'm coming across to Britain in the summer, so I might pop by and have a look at it for you.
You'd be most welcome in Leeds.
Where are you, Leeds? Yeah, my mate went to Leeds University.
It's a great city.
Well, he loved it. He had the choice. He actually chose Leeds, and I think he actually. And this is going back like 30 years ago. I think he's still down there. I think he actually just stayed. I think he just stayed. He didn't leave. So, you have a good rugby league team. I used to follow them. I used to follow the rugby league. Are you a rugby fan, Alan?
No.
No, you're not into sports.
Maybe not shaped balls. Doesn't interest me.
All right, what was you actually? You said you retired. What did you do before you retired? What was your or what was your first ever job? There's a good one. What was your first ever job?
I was an office clerk.
All right, okay. What kind of what was that? Accountancy or accountant or whatever?
Yes, doing accounts, the books, booking, timing,
finances,
things like that.
How long were you working there for? I mean, how many years? Was it
1 year, and then I went back to college, study writing. I didn't want to waste my life doing something I didn't enjoy.
Okay, that's good.
That's smart.
And did you achieve it? Did you actually end up making a good living out of it? Your
I wouldn't say good living, but I was comfortable and I enjoyed what I was doing.
Are you happy with the choice you made then? Yeah.
Oh yes, very much so.
And you were just talking about it's getting quite hard for pensioners over in Britain. Are you really retired yet?
Yes.
No, okay.
I can't shop at Marks and Spencer's anymore. I have to shop at Aldi and budget places like that.
Oh, because the old Marks and Spencer's food was good. I used to shop there myself. Their sandwiches were top notch.
Yes, quality material.
I actually done. I got a job when I was living in London. I got a job actually delivering for Marks and Spencer's. And the funny thing was, right, is sometimes we didn't have enough of the lorry. They had the place I was working at was just up on the North Circular, and they had like about 100 of these lorries, and a huge place it was. But sometimes we never had it, some were in for repair, so we had to hire one. So you'd get a white lorry, and see the amount of complaints, or when you'd go to deliver the fridge, or because we used to deliver everything, sofas and everything. The customer they'd always complain. They'd phone up the office and say, why didn't the Marks and Spencer's van? Because they liked the fact that the big green van with, that was John Lewis. Sorry, mate.
Yeah.
That's John
That's
Lewis,
because the
sorry.
neighbours won't see the posh van coming up.
Yeah, that was it. But that was John Lewis. That wasn't Marks and Spencer. Sorry, I got a bit confused there. Yeah, it was
Well,
John Lewis I worked for, but yeah, just the same kind of snobbery that kind of goes on. So you're now shopping at Aldi.
unfortunately.
I won't be. Yeah. So what's your biggest complaint about being a pensioner then?
Too much time on my hands, pretty much like Nathan and Riley. Nothing to
Have you
do.
not got a hobby or anything like that? Don't you have a hobby or something?
I do bingo and bowls.
Not enough hours in the day, mate. Don't know what you think. If you think I've got time on my hands, not enough hours in the day.
Yeah, he's a young father. Come on.
He's a
It's not
what?
when you have time. Time's in short supply when you're a young father. So.
And
Right,
it is
Nathan?
quite a bit of work, getting a hangout going and trying to get everything organised and stuff like that. It's not.
Do you know what happened today? Somebody sent me a gift in the post, an anonymous gift, right? So there's a company that makes a product called a Stream Deck, Elgato Stream Deck. And it's something that I've wanted, but I've always said, I don't want it because I can't afford it, bottom line. So I've never bought one. And then a random stranger has sent me one in the post.
Oh,
Kid you
wow.
not. Just
Not
a
very
random
nice.
gift worth about 150 quid. Just arrived today with a note saying, basically, from your frat earth friends, something that will improve your live streams, hopefully prevent you getting poor bombed. If you ever stop streaming, please rebox it and send it on to another flat earther who does streaming. And I read it and I was like,
Huh.
what? I just completely lost for words. The kindness of somebody in flat earth, I don't know who, sent me anonymously.
I won't
Just
say my
incredible.
phone's ringing. Hang on.
Hey Nathan, it could be a baller.
Could be a bomb. Could blow up when a player uses the USB.
Well, you'll find out quickly, but
No, it's brand new sealed. Somebody's gone out and actually ordered and paid for a Stream Deck and then sent it to me with a note saying, hope this improves your streams. You're like, wow.
have you
Kindness
plugged
in
it
flat
in
earth,
yet
it's amazing.
to test it out?
I only got it literally before, like 20 minutes before I started this hangout. I just, Postman
Well,
came.
in that case, it's not a bomb.
No, I don't think so. Isn't that awesome? Hey, yeah, donkey, how you doing?
Hello.
Postman
Well,
came.
Hey, I'm just going to say hello
it's not a bomb.
before I get booted.
Turn
all
up your
good.
live stream.
Make sure you mute
sound.
the page you're watching.
Hello.
Yeah, that's better. Good to have you here, you donkey.
Hello.
So what can we do for you, my friend? Say again?
Hello. Hello.
We can hear you. So what can we do for you, my...
Oh,
That
bro.
is
Say again?
really hello.
Hello.
We can hear you. I'm just going to pop you on mute, you donkey.
What can we do
Just
Yeah,
while you sort your
Please put
watch
your
and vouch.
YouTube stream on mute.
Page that
because
you
it's
joined
echoing.
from needs to be muted, my friend. And then once you have, just come pop yourself off mute, wave your mouse over the page and click mute. There you go.
Still, Jeremy is going nuts. All right, I want to see. Audacity. Yeah, it's only 10 degrees of the rising, but like I said,
Okay, goodbye.
Okay, he was playing another video.
Yeah, no worries. Try again tomorrow, figure out how to use the mute button.
He was just trolling us. He was playing another video.
I think so. Yes, he was trolling us, wasn't he, my dear?
So, Alan, what's your views on the shape of the Earth, my friend?
Well, from my position and my background and my schooling, I would say it's very much round.
Round? Do you want to be a bit more precise?
Do I
Spherical,
need to
maybe?
be more precise?
Pardon?
Do I need to be more precise?
Yes.
Well, round pizzas are round.
Flat.
A ring is round.
It's a sphere.
A disc is round. A circle is round. A sphere is round.
So, based on your...
A
Did you
pillar is round.
Hey,
Lots of things are round.
hey, Arwen, this is not play school.
So you
What's
said based
the
on...
square
based-
window?
Well, I just explained to you why we want you to be more specific.
No, he did say spherical.
Thank you, Riley.
So, based on your... What was your reasoning? Based on your schooling, did you say?
Yes.
So, what kind of... Hang on.
You can't even explain how the sun goes down.
Yes, I can.
Go for it, Arwin.
Well, it's holographic. So it's
Holographic.
going to go right in the ground at the edge of your vision.
And what's being used to broadcast the holograph?
It's part of this physical realm. It's probably a side effect.
That's
The
that-
electromagnetics.
That's a bit vague.
Yeah, it is.
How do you sleep at night?
Just keeping it real.
But that's
And realizing that things are not as literal and convenient as our psyche would like them to be.
but you just
We were
make
raised,
stuff
it's just
up.
like Santa Claus. It's a really nice idea that he's there. But yeah, the reality is a slightly more complex and more disappointing, including lies and deception.
So
And
you're
that's just how
comparing
things really
sun,
are. And that includes
Santa
the
Claus.
ball.
You're comparing the sun with Santa Claus.
Well, what we think or what we would like the sun to be, what is the easiest for us to imagine it to be, tends to migrate towards the heliocentric cosmology, because that's very literal, it's very visual, it's very easy to imagine. So that's more convenient to our psyche. But the reality is well, what we can measure is that it's probably holographic because you can't approach it. No matter what you do, it always moves away from you as you go towards it, and that includes the stars. As you go up, it just disappears. So one can only honestly conclude that they are purely light based, and its origins elude us.
Arwin, I think you say the right words, but not necessarily in the right order.
Well, yeah, you can blame that I'm not actually English, though, for that.
Oh, you're not English?
Nope, Dutch.
Ah, hoop. But you do. You say things, they're not in the right order. It's just stuff.
No, it's just details. It's just how it works.
So
Perception is a big thing.
so if the sun's a hologram, where's the projector?
Well, there's different ways that could be approached, but I've become more and more certain that it's literally in the eye of the beholder. Is that all observing things as part of the design of this realm? All things that observe will see the holographic bodies at the edge of its vision, whether it be an eye in a living being or a camera, any type of thing. As soon as optics come in, things that can see will see the holographic globe of the heavens.
Sounds like rubbish to me.
Yeah, of course it does, but that doesn't matter.
No,
Other thing sounds rubbish to us doesn't make it not real.
you're entitled to believe what you want.
Oh, I'm glad you think that. There's a lot of people that would disagree with you. A lot of people think that we're not entitled to believe what we want.
You can. It amuses me.
It amuses me what you believe. So let's talk about evidence. What evidence have you got?
Oh no, not the smudge.
No. What evidence have you got that we're rotating?
Well, let's look at the sun and the moon. There you go. Polaris.
Yeah,
Can you explain that?
yeah. Very.
Hang on. So when you say the sun and the moon and Polaris, what can you tell us about the sun and the moon and Polaris that makes me believe that we are rotating?
Well, how do they work on a flat Earth model? They wouldn't.
That isn't the question. The question is how
No,
can you
no,
No, but he can ask that question. I just explained it to you.
You did. You
And
didn't.
you think it's ridiculous, but that works really well on a flat plane. Holographic globe at the edge of vision.
Yes, but you
all
can't
things.
explain where the projector is.
It's in your eyes. Your eye is the projector. It's part of optics itself.
My eye is the projector of the sun.
Yes, in a sense.
Wow.
Is a projector is part of a system that it enables this to be seen.
I tell you what, Arwin, you're special.
I know.
Special needs.
So Alan, the sun and the moon and Polaris. Can you tell me how we can deduce from their movements that we are moving?
You know the answer.
Okay. So let's go with the moon. We see that the moon is, you call it, tidally locked. And we see the same face of the moon at all times. Yeah?
Correct.
If I said to you that that was impossible as the result of a cosmic explosion, how would you, Jazz Conda, you there?
I can
Hey.
take that one step further for you,
Hear
Ethan
us, Jazz?
Riley.
Hey, Jazz. You been drinking?
Hey, Riley, let me take
Hang
that
on.
one step
Jazz,
further
wait,
for you.
Jazz Conda, you there?
G'day.
You hear us,
G'day,
Jazz?
g'day.
Oh, we can. Nearly booted you. Got to be quicker than that.
Oh yeah, no, I was just putting on my headset. Sorry. How's things?
You're good. Have you been drinking tonight, Jazz Conda, or are you sober?
Yeah, no, I'm reasonably sober. It's been a festive time, but getting over that.
Good. So, Alan, go on. You were saying.
Riley and Nathan. Nathan and Riley. Ranty, with his round head. Burnt from chemical trails.
Let me actually get into that, what you just talked about, Riley.
Okay.
I can take it one step further. The moon is always visible in the same way. Everyone that gazes upon it always sees the absolute front of it. That's the moon face that rotates around its axis perfectly clockwise. And the thing is that if somebody looks on the moon at, for example, the beginning of the night when it just came up, and somebody else 200, 300 miles away, 1,000 miles away, sees the moon as it's almost morning, so it's down. They're both going to be gazing upon the exact face of the moon. So it's down.
Hellboy,
They're
you there, dude?
both going to be gazing
Hi,
upon the
Hellboy,
exact.
you've got
Let
to-
me turn off the freaking.
You need to mute your watch page, Hellboy. Stick you on mute while your watch page gets muted, Hellboy. Just need to stick yourself.
It's
The
muted
problem
when
is we're not going to get voice verification on him.
Yeah, he's just gonna get kicked.
Just a freaking troll getting in the way. But the thing is, they're both going to be seeing the exact same angle, the face of the moon, even though they are hundreds or thousands of miles apart. And that's only possible in a hologram. You can't look upon a ball thousands of miles apart and then see the exact same thing. That is physically impossible in every way.
Owen, you say so much, but yet I understand so little.
Well, that's your problem. This is just basic reasoning.
Okay, all right. Let me ask you something now. Are you familiar with what?
Riley, hang on. The Avon woman's here. I just need to answer the door.
Thank God for that. All hail the Avon lady.
Anyone in chat can try to deny what I just declared, but if there's a ball out there and people are going to be looking on this ball thousands of miles apart, and you're going to see the exact same face of the moon thousands of miles apart, then it can be a physical object, because you can't be looking at the same side of a physical object so much apart. It's impossible. So it cannot be a literal physical ball out there.
Owen, we don't see the same face of the moon.
No, you do.
No, you don't.
Yes, you do. You always see that one side of the moon. This is a generally known fact.
Okay, we always see the
Nobody
one side
sees
of
the dark side of the moon. It's never seen, ever.
Okay. That is a fact. We always see the
Yeah.
one side of the moon.
I
That's
know.
a fact. We see up to 8% of the dark side of the moon because the moon takes 28 days to rotate.
I'm not
as it
talking
goes
about
round.
how much shadow is actually
Whoa,
cast over
no,
the front
no.
side of the moon. I'm only talking
I'm going
about
to call you on
the
that.
exact facing of
I'm
the
going to
moon.
call you on that.
One
What evidence
side.
have you got that we see 8% of the dark side of the moon?
I'm going on what I've read.
Oh, I read about
Oh,
I read about
oh
Father
snap.
Christmas.
And can you And you flat earthers could prove this by coming to the southern hemisphere.
Prove
I'm just trying.
8% of the other side of the moon.
No, that you see the same face of the moon upside down to yours in the northern hemisphere. It's upside down.
Sure, but that's
Doesn't
not in
matter if
dispute.
it's upside down. It's the same face. It's the same exact angle, just
That's-
rotating.
Why would it
Doesn't
be
matter if it's
upside down in the
rotating
southern
around its
hemisphere?
axis. If it's upside down, it's
It's
the
not
same
rotating
face.
about its equator. It's not rotating about its equator. It's rotating about its north and south poles. If it was rotating about its equator, you would see the same face wherever you were on the flat Earth, but it's not.
Okay.
So maybe you should come down
No,
south, have
you
a
do.
holiday.
You always see the same face facing you. I might have rotated a bit. Might have been some shadow
same-
overcasting as moon
I'm not-
faces do.
Owen,
But it's always the same
Owen,
side that you're looking at, no matter where you are on the Earth.
I'm not denying that. You're absolutely correct. What I'm saying is its orientation, depending where you are in the north and south, is upside down compared to where you are in the north.
Yeah, and it doesn't mean anything.
How does that not mean anything?
Because you're still facing the same axis. You're facing the same side. Doesn't matter if it's upside down. It's a really interesting coordinate.
Earth's
It's like
flat-
it's interesting that it works that way, but you're still facing the same side.
Owen, if the Earth's flat,
Thousands of miles apart and you're facing the same side, it cannot be a literal physical object you're looking at. You can be looking at the
Owen.
same object.
Owen, if the Earth's flat and we all put our feet on the southern edge of the disk and we put our heads to the north, then the moon has to be rotating about its equator, not about its north and south axis, to show the same visible orientation of the same face. I'm not denying that. In the northern and southern hemispheres, it has to be rotating the opposite way that it is on a 90
Sure.
degrees.
I don't really care about that.
Of course
I just
you
care
don't.
about
Okay.
that you're still seeing the same side of the moon, thousands of miles apart. It can't be a round object.
It doesn't prove the Earth's flat. The moon rotates
No,
every
I know
28
it doesn't
days.
prove, but it does prove that the moon is not a physical object. That's what I'm trying to say.
It doesn't prove that. So the shadows on the moon are part of the hologram.
Yes. All the
Sweet
globe
baby
of the
Jesus.
heavens, the sun, the moon, the planets, the stars, all those things out there we see at night and even in the day, those are holographic. It doesn't have
So-
anything to do with the shape of the Earth. Earth is physical. It's a different matter.
Okay, that's a great belief. But when was the projector invented? Because the moon's been observed since the
Since
15,
creation.
1400s. So who invented the projector? Why haven't we got much better technology now?
I don't know. We've been created. We've been designed. It was probably a thing that the designer just did for us. It's part of the design of this world.
Are you really certain about that?
Yes.
I'm not, Jazz. Sounds crazy.
No. Hey, maybe it can be turned off. Who
Okay.
knows? Maybe it can be turned off, turn on again. Yeah.
It's well, why hasn't it been reset? What computer do you know that hasn't
Well,
been
who has
restarted?
any? In whose advantage would that be? To certainly turn it off. And the entire
creator.
the entire world of power has been trying to uphold this globe. They're
Well,
putting so
let
much
me-
effort in upholding this illusion. Why would they turn it off? That would break the entire
Let me
spell.
Riley, get this back on track. Is it Ireland or not?
let me just address something that was there about the reset question. Now, I'm not saying I agree with Arwin on everything he says. Arwin knows that I don't. We generally fall out when I don't. However, the question about reset, when it comes to the moon goes missing for between 2 to 3 days, depending on where you are in the world. Nobody sees the moon.
Goes
You
me.
can. I disagree. You can see a new moon in the sky.
No, you can't.
Yes, you can.
When it goes before we get to the new moon phase, at the end of the lunar cycle on the 27.3 day, the moon goes missing for between 2 and 3 days.
You can see in broad daylight, you can still vaguely see the moon. You can see the moon.
Hey, Hal, how you
I
doing?
can see it in the southern
Hold on a
hemisphere.
second. Sorry, Jazz. Can I just see if Hal's got his
No,
audio
he's a troll.
sorted?
He's a troll.
Hold on, Alwyn.
No,
Hold on.
I'm not a troll. I'm discussing
Jazz, I'm just
actual...
trying to establish whether or not the guest that joined earlier that didn't get his mic working has now got his mic working. How you doing, Hellboy, or whatever your name is?
Hey, what's up, Nathan?
Good to have you here. Thanks for being here. Sorry, Jazz, you carry on.
Well, has he spoken, Nathan?
Yeah, it's all good. I know him. It's all good. It's all
right,
good.
sorry, I didn't. Right, okay. So, you're saying that the moon is visible during the new moon phase. Is that right?
It's not completely visible. It's not as visible as on a full moon during broad daylight, but you can see an outline of it. It's a slightly darker shade of the blue of the sky.
Yeah,
you
well,
can make it out.
Before you get the outline of it.
What do you mean? It's there. You can see it.
Let me rephrase it. For at least 2 days after the lunar cycle finishes, there is 2 days, depending on where you are on the Earth. Sometimes it's a little bit more, sometimes a little bit less, but generally it's 2 days. Nobody sees any evidence whatsoever of the moon.
Okay, I kind of get where you're going with this, but let's just take the image on this photo that's showing on the screen now. You see way off on the right-hand side, there's clouds on the horizon.
Yes.
Does that mean that if there's land over there, it's foggy?
Probably dirty air.
Just think about that. The clouds on the horizon, so if there's land or there's a boat just over there, does that mean it's foggy there?
Can I just ask what you're looking at? Because I'm looking at Oakley Chords.
Yeah, I think that's what he was talking to, but the picture's moved on now. Sorry.
Absolutely. I don't see anything either.
Sorry, I'm just looking at what's on the screen.
Air clarity in the distance is usually just a matter of the moist level in the air. Clouds are rather a separation.
Hold up a second, though. We were. Let's not change subject.
Yeah, let's not.
Right, the assertion is, or the evidence tells us that the moon goes missing for at least 2 days at the end of its cycle, right? And the question about reset...
No, but even before, Riley, even before you change subject, can we get back to the fact of why can't we see the screen that he's trying to show us?
Because I
wasn't trying to show you a screen. I was just observing the screen that was on at the time. So just forget about it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so let's address the reset question, because we do know that the moon goes missing for 2 days at the end of its cycle. Nobody sees the moon anywhere.
It doesn't go missing. It doesn't go missing. What do you mean it goes missing?
We can't see it.
Not observe. Don't see shadow, then it is missing.
Can you please elaborate on what you mean by it goes missing?
At the end of the lunar cycle, nobody sees the moon for at least 2 days. It goes missing.
It goes missing. That means it goes missing.
Yeah. As if somebody turns off the projector light and then resets it and then starts.
You can't see it.
Sleeping.
Yeah.
Or does that mean that you just can't see the sun's rays reflecting off of it?
Who's talking at hell?
Yeah, I don't. What's your issue, Hellboy? What's wrong with saying we can't see it? What's wrong with that? I don't get it. What's wrong with that? We don't.
No,
it goes away.
He didn't say that. He said it's missing.
Yeah.
Well,
and he's correct.
Different. You can't see it.
When things aren't there, you can't see them. Missing is a fair enough description.
Hold up. We're going straight up Riley's way of talking.
That's the whole point.
He wants to be very specific on how he talks. So Riley, when you say it's missing, what do you mean?
Well, let's be very specific with how we answer it. There is no evidence. There is no evidence that there is a moon in the sky for 2 days.
Okay, so it's missing. Is it gone? Has it disappeared?
No, hell.
Where did it go?
You can put any adjective in there you want to be a pedant. The point is, there is no moon in the sky for 2 days. How? Why?
And where did it go?
The optics of it are gone. It's holographic. There's no longer anything about it visible. It's gone.
Can I interject just for a second? Because the moon being unobservable by anyone is completely false.
No, it's not.
It is completely false because I'm here in New Zealand. The moon can go for a day or two when I can still actually see its shadow in the sky, and I can
Okay.
call a friend in Japan and he can see it.
Okay.
Why is that?
So at new moon phase,
Because it's not completely gone yet.
He can see it in Australia.
so are you? Hang on. Are you
didn't
saying that you're
disappear.
the only guy that claims that you can see the
So,
moon?
so, Riley, what do you mean by it disappeared?
Well,
Can you please elaborate?
I can
Can you
answer
please
that. If
elaborate
it's
on
completely covered by darkness, you don't see it anymore. You don't just see a darkened
That's
moon
very-
out there.
not
You don't
being
see
able to
any
see
moon.
something.
That's the whole point.
Not being able
Once
to see
it's
something
completely
very
darkened, you don't
Hold
see
on,
anything.
can you stop
anymore.
talking over each other?
Okay.
Disappeared is a
Okay.
very
Boys,
simple
one
word.
at a time, one at a time.
You know what appeared means? Well, disappeared means the opposite. It means it's not
I
appearing.
can simply not see my nephew hiding behind a chair.
Yeah, so he's
It doesn't
disappeared.
mean he's not there.
Yes, he's not appearing anymore. He has disappeared. Even if
Yeah.
he's behind a curtain,
No,
he's
not
not making
behind
an
a chair.
appearance.
It's not there anymore.
You know, we're not
Listen,
saying
he
that
has
people vanish
vanished.
into obscurity when they go off stage.
still
It doesn't
there,
mean that.
right?
But they're no
Okay.
longer appearing. They have disappeared. That's the accurate word. What's wrong with it? Tell me what's wrong with the word disappeared in terms of what the moon
Oakley,
does.
was I talking to you or was I talking to Riley?
Yeah,
Well,
but
I'm
you
trying
keep
to
asking
answer
the
you, but
same
I'm not
problem
getting a
because you've got an
word in.
objection to an
Yeah,
adjective.
Oakley, can you please let Riley talk?
Okay.
All right. Let's all take 3 minutes and go outside now. I'm in the southern hemisphere, very, very low latitude. Let's all go outside now and see in what direction we can see the moon.
No, but that's not my point. My point is at the end of the lunar cycle, the moon
Well-
goes missing. Now you can be a
Yeah, but
wait,
What do you mean by missing?
missing. It's the opposite of being
Missing.
visible.
It's very different. Missing means
Right.
it's disappeared.
Why do you struggle with my description?
Because
you're
you gotta be
saying
very
missing.
specific with
I'm
your
being very
words.
specific.
Because he can get over the non-physicality.
Is the issue that you're perhaps a little bit ignorant to the fact that I'm making, the point that I'm making, that the moon does go missing?
It doesn't, though. That's not a point.
It absolutely goes missing. There is no evidence of the moon in the sky at any point.
The point, Riley, is
You go
this.
outside now and
Not
see if you can see the moon.
Hold on.
We're not
Let's
actually
see.
moving out.
Hold on. Jazz is disagreeing. I want to hear this. Sorry, Jazz. You go ahead. How can we see the moon when it's not physically there? You tell me.
I'm just saying this is a great observation, live observation right now. I'm going to go out for a quick smoke. I can see the moon quite high up into my northeast. I'm 45 degrees south. I can see it quite high up. I'd predict that if you did see the moon in the UK, where you sound like you're from, it would be a very, very slight moon.
No,
What?
Yeah.
It's a
Pretty big.
waxing gibbous at the
I actually
moment. It's
saw it
pretty
this
big.
night.
But what we're saying
What
is
moon have you
during
got
the
there?
new moon, Jazz, the new moon, not now.
The moon.
New
The moon.
You've got a new moon.
Moon.
You've got a new moon there.
It's new moon in 2 days, though, isn't it? Not now.
So you'll have a very waning crescent then.
Let me just double check my cycle and let's see where we're at.
No, don't double check it. Go outside and have a look.
You want me to
It's
go outside and
daylight
my eyes
right
with the
now.
moon?
I want you to go outside. I'm going to go and have a quick smoke, and I will come back in 2
Give me
minutes.
2 minutes. I will go
Okay,
outside.
so can I please expand on what he's trying to say,
Oh,
right?
that's right. Waxing
What
gibbous.
you're
I
trying to
just
say is
checked it. It is
you
a waxing gibbous.
You cannot
We're
see
taking
it
real world
because you
science.
cannot see the light reflecting back off of it.
That's how you
It
see
doesn't
things.
mean it's
That's
not
how sight
there.
works. Not seeing light bounce off something is
Doesn't
how
mean
vision
it's
works. What are you on
vanished.
about?
It doesn't mean it's not there. It just means you can't see the light reflecting off of it.
So it has
No,
Does that make-
no, it's more than
disappeared.
that.
It
Does
is
that
no
make-
longer
You can't
appearing.
see
kind
the
of-
dark side of it either. You don't see anything. You don't see the
Okay,
dark side
Owen,
contrast.
Owen, the dark side of it has nothing
You
to do
can
with
see the moon
it. Don't
in the
come in here and
daylight
talk
as well. You can see the moon in the daylight as well. You have to admit this. So once it's completely darkened, you
alright,
don't see a black ball contrasting the air. You just don't see anything. That's the whole point. You don't see anything.
Okay.
You don't see a black
Yes.
ball.
Okay, Arwen, I can agree with that. I can agree with that, Arwen. But what does what you just said have to do with anything what we're just talking about?
It has everything to do with it. It disappears. It's no longer there.
How exactly? Please explain it to me.
It's
'cause
not
it
a
makes no
physical
sense.
thing, and
Well,
that
you're saying
means
it
that
makes
once
absolutely
the dark, will you let me explain it? Once you see the dark side, it's not a shadow that you're looking
You
at.
gave
You're
him
just
3 seconds,
looking at
Hal.
nothing.
Right, if you talk over him again, I'm just going to boot you because you're being ridiculous. You're objecting over things that are nonsensical. You gave him 3 seconds to speak then.
So the whole point is, once the moon becomes darkened, once the black side of it basically covers it up, you don't see a darkened part of the moon, which, like right before, if you still see a very sharp sickle, very sharp light of it, you still see kind of the darkness, the dark side of it contrasting with the rest of the whatever's out there, clouds. That's kind of interesting. But once the shadow completely covers it up, and it's not actually a shadow, just the dark side covers it up, it completely disappears from view. There's no dark moon contrasting the backdrop. There's just nothing. Anybody still there?
Yeah, I'm still here, are we? It's all good.
Right now, I
Thank
thought I
you for
was
your
being
explanation.
sniped or
At least you got
something.
to the end of it.
Anyway,
Yeah.
that's the whole point.
Good point. Great point. Great point.
It's not a physical ball, and it's not reflecting the sunlight. That's not what it is.
Has Jazz gone for some drinks?
I think he went for a smoke.
He should probably stop smoking.
And I gotta go, by the way, guys. Have to be at an appointment in 15 minutes, so it's been fun. Good luck trying to figure out everything we've been explaining.
Bye, Arwin.
See you
See
later,
you
Arwen.
later.
Thanks for being here.
Love you.
See you later, Nathan, Ellen. Everybody,
Bye.
good luck. Bye.
Strange boy.
Well,
38.
I think he was trying to tell us that we could see the dark side of the moon or something.
No, he takes strange powders. He can probably see a lot of things others can't. So, Nathan, is it still Irene that we can see?
We're not really in agreement on that. I don't think so. 2 of the other team think it is, 2 think it isn't. So we're looking at it. That's the reality. It's not as quick as just saying, no, it isn't, or yes, it is. It's a case of studying it and figuring it out.
Oh dear, Rumpus throws a spanner in the works.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's
He does.
just me
That's
again.
correct.
I'm back with my observations.
And for that, he deserves a lot of credit. So we've been saying for ages, debunk Lagness Lighthouse, debunk the diamond, debunk, it's on a debate channel, and nobody stepped up. Rumpus has. So as much as I can't confirm or disagree or whatever, at this stage, he has, as you phrase it, put a spanner in the works. Good for him. Well done, Rumpus. First one.
Don't you feel rather silly?
Not at all. I'd rather be right than have Lagness Lighthouse at 150 miles.
And at this point, Nathan's not speaking for everyone. Rumpus's point is considered, but there's not by far from consensus from everybody. 2 of us don't agree. 2 of us do agree, 2 of us don't. What Rumpus has said may well be true. However, there are problems with it. So it's not true to say that Rumpus is correct. Rumpus has made a point and we are considering it. However, there are still problems with it. So there's plenty of doubt for us to be chewing over, which is what we're still doing. So
there's only one
Absolutely.
specific thing.
Absolutely.
Sorry,
and
go ahead.
Riley, can you please help me understand what Origin was trying to say when we're talking about seeing the dark side of the moon? Because I'm pretty sure we can never see the dark side of the moon.
no, we can't see the dark side of the moon ever.
Yeah.
We don't even.
And he was trying to explain how the moon vanishes.
All right. So the point that Jazz Conda said was that we see 8% of the dark side of the moon, and I asked him what evidence did he have, and he said that he read it, and I said that I'd read about Father Christmas. Now the point is, they say that because of libration, we see 8% of the other side of the moon, but when you look into libration, there is no evidence to support the 8% because I see that it moves, but I don't see that it creates more of the other side of it. So my question is, where did the 8% come from? How was it
Would you
measured?
say 92% of the moon vanishes then? Because if 8%, I don't know. I'm not really sure how these percentages actually matter because
where does the 8% of the libration value come from? Is it measured in some way, or is it a guesstimate?
It's because of its 28-day lunar orbit. That's how we get to see either side of it.
But can you prove
28 days?
Can you prove that the 8% that you claim that we're seeing, the effects of vibration, can you prove that it is 8% of what we're seeing? Because it appears to me to just simply be an effect of lensing. It's not an effect of seeing more of it.
Okay. No. But
no. Can I just talk here just for a second?
You can, but can I please get my question out again?
Yeah,
my core question was this: like, Riley, you had said that the moon vanishes. How could it possibly just vanish and disappear? It can't, right?
Correct.
Yeah. So why did you say that? I'm still baffled.
Because it vanishes.
Okay. Can you please expand on that?
Nobody can see it.
Which means there's no sunlight reflecting off of it?
Perhaps.
Okay.
All right. Well, obviously, you're not familiar with the lunar cycle, it would appear. At the end of the cycle, 2 days go by and no one sees the moon.
No one on Earth sees the moon.
Nobody on Earth sees the moon.
That's a complete lie, because did you just go out and observe the moon?
Okay. Do you understand what a lie is?
I do. I'm not sure you do.
Okay.
Because you said that you're just about to go into a full moon. Did I get that right?
Is there a difference between a lie and simply being mistaken?
You just said that you're about to go into a full moon, right?
Yeah, I think so. And then I was going to check it, and then someone said, "Don't."
Wax and gibbous.
Because why? Because why? I'm a day away from going into a new moon in the southern hemisphere. Amazing.
What's your point?
What's your point? Yeah.
That you're going into a new moon.
I mean, where did it go?
You're going into a full moon in the northern hemisphere. Hang on.
Hold on, Hal.
Let
Jazzicon speak. Hal, hold on.
Hang on.
That's the reason.
Hang on. You're going into a full moon in the northern hemisphere. I'm going into a new moon in the southern hemisphere. So how does no one see a new moon?
No. We're going into a new moon as well. We're at the end of the
No, you're not.
I think we're at the end of the lunar cycle right now. Give me 1 second. Let me just check where we're at.
Wax and gibbous.
And then check it for the southern hemisphere as well and see if they both match up. Because it's
so in 2 days' time, we're in a new moon phase.
You're in a new moon phase.
Is that right, Nathan?
We're in wax and gibbous yesterday.
Riley, are you eating?
I am.
I'm getting terrible mastication in my headphones.
I'm very good at masticating.
Yeah.
Are you good at masticating, Alan?
No, those days are over.
Full skip now, eh?
Dead men don't fall out of
testosterone drop.
Alan,
hey, Jeff,
are you a reincarnated Alan Turing, the mastermind of the Enigma machine?
No, we had this conversation yesterday. Do you not remember?
Oh, no, I don't. I've had some drinks.
Yeah, did you get me a port?
I did, a 1968 vintage.
Yeah.
And are you a smoker, Alan? I'm sure you
No.
are.
Only a wise man would not be a smoker.
There's nothing wrong with smokers. I smoke.
No,
they smell.
It's terrible. It's a disgusting habit.
Filthy, disgusting.
It's my hobby, and I love doing it. So, you know what? Keep your considerations to yourself, because I like doing it.
Hey, who put you in charge?
I just want to get to the end of Jazz's point, though. So what Jazz is saying is, while we go into a full moon phase, he goes into a new moon phase. Therefore, at some stage, according to Jazzaconda, someone has always got eyeballs on the moon. Is that what you're saying, Jazz?
Well, no, that's not what I'm saying, just according to me, according to the southern hemisphere. And according to the northern hemisphere on your side.
Is that have
No
I
one
have I
never
summarised
no
have
one
I
never
summarised your
sees
point
the
though?
moon.
I just want to know if I've summarised your point correctly or not.
What I'm saying is that no one never sees no moon. Everyone always sees the moon at some point in the northern
Right.
hemisphere and the southern hemisphere.
And that fact is wrong. Now, if you have a wrong fact, that doesn't by definition make you a liar. It just means that you're mistaken.
No,
So there's a
Riley, I
difference.
think he's saying the same thing
So-
we are. He's basically
so the
saying you don't see the moon, you just don't see the sunlight reflecting back off of it.
Yeah, and I just said earlier that's how you see things. That's what vision is. So if you can't see it because there's no light reflecting off it, you can't see it. That's what not
Right.
seeing it is.
But
And
but
that was
let's
my
say
point. And that was my point, Oakley, was that it doesn't just vanish.
So what you're saying is you've used 20 words to say that light reflects off it, and that means you can see it, and then when you don't have light reflecting off it, you can't see it.
Okay.
Well, that's the same way of saying
Okay.
it's not appearing.
Oakley, my initial point was this, right? Don't say the moon is vanishing.
Why not?
It's not.
It's a perfectly acceptable explanation. It's a
You're
perfectly
just
acceptable
not
adjective.
seeing-
What's your objection
you're
to it
just
saying it
simply not
disappears?
seeing the
1 minute it's
the
there
light reflect
and
off
can
it.
be seen. It is appearing. The next, it is disappeared because it is no longer appearing. It's a perfectly acceptable adjective.
yeah, but Nathan,
That's
if
very
you take
different. That's a very different statement to the moon vanishing.
take the prime meridian and then 0 degrees latitude at the equator off that. If you go around 90 degrees, then at the prime meridian, you say there's a full moon at the prime meridian, 90 degrees is going to be a half moon. 90 degrees round, 180, it's a new moon.
All right, Jazz,
That can't happen on a flat Earth.
Jazz, let me ask. But let's go back to my statement where the moon goes missing for 2 days. Nobody
Which
sees the
is-
moon.
It's not missing.
Which is not a statement. It's a belief of yours. Everyone,
No, it's an assertion.
not everyone
Okay,
can
okay.
see the moon. Not
Correct.
So
that,
Riley,
I agree.
If it went missing, where did it go?
Right, all right, stop,
75% of the world can see the moon at one phase or another at any time.
No,
Not
that's not
100% can't see it.
That isn't true. That is not true. When we get
How
to the
do you
moon,
come up with that? Please tell me.
right, I'm trying to, but you keep interrupting me. So let me speak, and then you can respond after I finish speaking. Okay? Try and avoid interrupting. When we get to the new moon phase,
The floor is yours.
when we get to the new moon phase, nobody in the Earth, anywhere on the Earth, including Australia, sees the new moon. So when we're at new moon, you guys will not see the moon for 2 or 3 days. That's the way it is. Now, if you don't agree with that, wait till the next time the cycle comes around. It's in 15 days' time because we're coming up to full moon. But when we get to that next 12 or 13 days, we can come back online and we can say, right, we're coming back up to the new moon cycle. And then we'll say, we're now at new moon. We see no moon. And if we can't see it in the sky, that means you must see it because that's the other side of the Earth.
Okay,
Right.
well, Riley,
That's exactly what we're observing right now.
very much
But we're not at
change
new moon.
your perspective on this because
Wait,
you
wait,
essentially
hang on,
started off saying
stop.
it vanishes. It just
Stop.
goes away.
At the minute, I'm talking to Jazz, so don't interrupt. At the moment, Jazz, we're not at new moon. We're at full moon. Right?
It doesn't matter what point you are.
Yeah, it does. Because it's
No,
only
it doesn't.
at new moon, Jazz. Are you listening? It has to be at new moon.
Okay, well, it doesn't actually matter because whatever point you are, it's the complete opposite on the other side of the flat disk in the southern hemisphere.
All right,
But it's not.
I'll reassert my assertion, and you can do it. Okay. When in 14 days' time, we're going to be knocking on the door of new moon. When that moon goes missing for us, you will not see it either. So you can prove
No,
that.
no. We don't
No,
have
we will
to
see
know
it.
that.
It'll be a full moon here.
So we'll
Yeah,
prove it.
tomorrow's a full moon.
If I'm wrong, then we'll deal with it online, and you can prove that I'm wrong. But when we're at
I'm
new
not.
moon, nobody
See-
anywhere in the Earth sees it. It goes missing. At
That
new
is a
moon.
crazy assumption.
No, it's
That
not an
is-
assumption. It's an observable, repeatable fact that we can test.
It's not an observable, repeatable fact, my man, because you can call anyone, call a random company in New Zealand tomorrow afternoon in 6 hours and ask what they see.
Tomorrow afternoon, I would agree. I'm
Hey,
talking
Jazz, you should
I'm
put a bet
talking
on with Riley.
new moon. No other phase, just new moon. Do you understand?
I do understand, because a new moon for you is a full moon on this side of the flat disk.
So you'll have no problem finding it then, will you?
So a half waning moon for you is a half waxing moon on this side.
Okay. So in
It's not rocket science.
So in 14 days' time, we should see, we'll be back at new moon. I can tell you that you will not be able to find it in your sky whilst we don't have it.
Really?
Yeah.
Yes, I'm afraid Riley is correct.
Can I just read off what it says on, what's it called? Lunar abundance. This may
No,
seem...
hold on. I totally disagree with this.
I just want to read out what it says. Bear with me a second. This may seem obvious to some, but given I live in Australia, one of the questions I am asked at least once a week is whether or not those of you in the Northern Hemisphere can follow the lunar practice in real time. Sorry, Jazz, can you stop breathing down your mic? In other words, do all of us have a full moon and moon phases peaking at the same time? The answer, yes. The moon, of course, orbits the Earth and turns and orbits the Sun. The peak of the full moon when the moon is opposite the Sun 180 degrees away. Therefore, the full moon and other moon phases occur at the same time, regardless of where you are located on Earth.
So then, Oakley, why can nobody in England see tomorrow's major occurrence that's happening with the red moon?
Are you asking me why we can't see into the future? That is possibly the most ridiculous
That's
question
tomorrow.
I've ever been asked.
No, tomorrow we're gonna have a red moon, and that's basically gonna be an eclipse.
Where did you read that from, Nathan?
Which kind of eclipse?
Sorry, that was from lunarabundance.com, Jazz. And just to point out that you are so incorrect as to be laughable.
Okay, that's fine. That's
Not
great.
fine, ridiculous. You've made
So
so many
therefore,
assertions. I just want to point out that,
I've
you have called Anthony,
made a
you are in
complete
fact a liar
ass of
based
myself.
on your own standards, Jazz. You're a liar, aren't you, Jazz, based on your
That's what I was
standards?
going to ask. I was going to ask if Jazz would be kind enough to retract the comment where he said I was a liar.
Well,
I will.
Let's label
I
him a
will
liar
completely
by his own
retract
standards.
all
Jazz has
comments.
lied to everybody. He's a complete liar, aren't you, Jazz?
Nathan, he's just retracted his comment about me.
I've retracted all my comments. All right, you've proven me to be a liar. I was going off what I've read in my education.
No, that
Sure.
doesn't make you
So
a liar.
you might
That
have
makes
a
you
point.
mistaken
So
and
basically-
incorrect. That's not you lying.
That doesn't make me a liar. That
No,
makes
it
me
doesn't.
indoctrinated, right?
Yeah,
Well, I
and
don't know
there's
about
a
that
difference
either.
between-
It's just incorrect. You're just incorrect. That's fine. We all make mistakes.
Yeah, there's a difference
Okay.
between a liar and just being wrong, and that was my point. Now, what I'm going to say to you, Jazz, is we can test it and we can prove to your satisfaction that it's true. When we get to new moon, you will also not see the moon because we're at new moon phase.
No, hold on. But why is it then that what we're gonna be able to see in America
Yeah.
on January 31st, you guys cannot see in England? How is that possible?
Right, that's a different point. But let's
And-
finish the new moon point first. We can come back to that lunar eclipse in a minute.
No, it has absolutely everything to do with the same reasoning behind the
No.
angles
No, it doesn't.
vision of the moon. It does, absolutely does.
No, right, okay.
I-
if it does, then
I'm
you
just
can
going to go
answer
and have a
your own
quick look
question.
at.
No, I want to
just
keep
gonna
this
go
back
have
on
a quick
point. Sorry.
observation of the
Hold
moon
on,
just really
Jazz.
quickly. I'll be back in a minute.
Jazz. Hold on. So the question started with, why does the moon disappear? Your objection was, well, it doesn't disappear in the southern hemisphere. We get a full moon when you guys have a new moon. Well, that's incorrect. It does actually, in fact, disappear. Nobody gets to see it for about 2 days. So that's now back on that track now. We're back
Yes.
on that.
Now, the
Okay,
question...
you guys really think the moon just disappears? It just goes
Yes,
away.
it does disappear, you idiot. How many times do we have to tell you this?
It just
Yes,
goes
it
away.
does disappear.
It just goes away.
Right,
Like,
let's
like-
interpret the word disappear in this context, right? There is no evidence of a moon in the sky for anybody on the Earth.
Sleeping. I just want to go back to what you were saying before about the moon disappearing. I called you an idiot. I'm very, very sorry about that. I come up with some crap that I thought I knew. I was proven wrong, but at the same time, I'm going to go out and observe the moon for myself right now. I'll be a couple of minutes and I'll be
Hey,
back.
Jazz, get some.
Hey, guys, can I just say one thing though? I love how Jazz said, "I'm sorry for calling you an idiot." The same way that you just called me an idiot, Mr. Oakley.
Yeah, the difference is he was an idiot and you are an idiot.
Okay, thank you.
It's okay,
Here we
no
go,
worries.
Nathan
I'm not going to
being
retract
rude.
something that's true. You are in fact an idiot.
Okay,
The moon
no,
does in fact
I just
disappear.
appreciate how
You just
he
didn't
actually
understand that.
Saw that.
You didn't understand that the moon disappears, and you were arguing that point, which makes you
He said
an idiot.
something. He said
Sorry.
something which he probably said out of haste, and he apologized for it.
Okay, do you understand
And
that the moon disappears?
Very nice of him. That was very nice of him.
Do you understand
Very
that now
nice
that the moon
indeed.
disappears? Does the moon appear or disappear during that period? Do you understand that or not?
No, but my deal is just this, right? If the moon disappears, where does it go?
No, not if. It does. Do you accept it, yes or no?
If I had 2 moons in my
It
hand,
doesn't disappear.
how many
It's
moons
not
do I have?
visible. It doesn't
we've-
disappear. It's
Yes,
just
Yes,
moons.
it does,
invisible.
Alan. We've
If I have
established
2
that.
moons in my
It
hand,
disappears for
How
a
many
period
moons
of
do I
time
have?
for everyone. That's what happens. Do you
It
not
doesn't
accept that
disappear.
either, Alan? Sorry, Alan. Do you not accept that?
No, it's just not visible. You
Sorry,
hide
not
behind a chair,
physical.
you're not visible.
What kind of nonsense is this? Sorry, not
don't-
physical doesn't sound like an adjective I understand in this example,
you don't
Alan. Can you
disappear,
explain what you
you're just
mean
not
by not
visible.
physical?
all because you cannot be seen
Hold
doesn't
on,
mean you're
I'm
not
asking
there.
Alan. He's saying we can see it, I think.
Okay,
but it's just not
Nathan,
physical.
when you cover your
Well,
eyes,
If he's saying that,
cover your eyes, and you cannot see someone, does that mean you're not there just because you covered your eyes?
Yeah, but how would you prove that that person is there if you can't see them?
But because it's very, very easy to prove that. And
Go on then.
your
How do you
question
do it?
is
How do you prove
extremely
something's there
simple.
that's not there?
But my deal is this, Nathan. Do you really think I'm stupid?
Yes, that's why I called you an idiot.
Okay,
rude.
that's
Right.
great.
Gents, right, let's get back to the main question, right? The point was originally, why does the moon not reset? And I said,
No. The original question was, where does the moon go when it disappears?
well, it started from the question, why does the moon not reset?
Yeah, but
And
where
I
does
said-
it go? If it disappears, where does it go?
That's the point. Where does it go? On the heliocentric model, where does the moon go? It doesn't go anywhere. It stays there, right?
No, yeah, exactly. It does.
Right. But my problem is,
It doesn't just disappear. It doesn't just like go into
wait.
a
If,
level of like non-existence just because you can't see it.
yeah, but if the question becomes, if on the heliocentric model, the moon is still there, by our own eyes, we cannot see it. How
Because
can we
you cannot,
determine?
because the sunlight is not reflecting on it.
Wait. Let me
Yeah,
finish
but
the question. Let me
okay.
finish the question. If on the heliocentric model the moon does not go missing, but we
Where
see,
does it go then? Where does it go?
but we see that it
Riley, use the words "not visible" because that's correct. And then can
I'll
we talk
restart.
about Earthshine?
Please don't interrupt. Let me get my question out, and then you can
You
respond.
gotta tell us where it goes.
On the heliocentric model,
Yeah, but where does it go?
that's what I'm asking
Right.
you. There's the
Hell,
heliocentric.
you've asked the same thing,
Exactly.
interrupting him about
You
5
told me
times. Where
that's
does
the
it go?
question
Where
I
does it
asked
go?
you.
Right,
You
Hellboy, is
cannot
your
answer
question,
a
Hellboy,
question with another
Hellboy, hello,
question.
is your question, where does it
Cannot
go?
answer
Because I've
my
heard you say it a
question
few
with another
times.
question.
You're
I'm
just being
sorry,
disruptive.
Nathan. I'm very stupid.
Yes,
So
I
I
know
need him
that.
to
I
answer my
understand that.
question.
I'm now trying to clarify why you
I'm
keep
very
asking the same thing as an
extremely
interruption 5 times. So you're
Right,
asking where
Hellboy.
does it go?
Right, I've muted you so I can speak. Please
No,
let me
don't
answer
mute
my
him.
get to the end of
Don't
my
mute
point,
people,
Hellboy,
please.
and then I want you to answer it. On the heliocentric model, the moon physically does not change its position. Okay, it's always in the sky at some point. We should always see it. Now, they argue that there's a lunar eclipse and therefore we don't see it, but we still see it in the lunar eclipse. Now, on the heliocentric model, the moon does not disappear. In the real world, with our own eyes, we see the moon no longer visible or disappear. Okay, that is what we see. We see that the moon fades to nothing. It's as if it runs out of fuel. My question is, if the moon is still there,
Runs out of fuel.
and we don't have any other senses to perceive its presence there, how do we know it's still there?
Let's talk about Ireland.
Okay, so the reason you know it's still there is the same reason when Nathan is not talking right now and is behind his shadow of an existence. You still know he's there even though he's not talking, don't you?
Okay, so let's go with the presumption that it is physically still there.
Is Nathan still here or is he not here?
Philosophical question. Look up Schrodinger's
Well,
cat.
he's not talking. No, hold on.
Schrodinger's
He's
cat.
not talking.
Look it up.
We can't hear Nathan talk.
Hellboy.
Nathan, you just spoiled it. Nathan, you
just listen a sec. If the moon is
spoiled
still there,
Nathan. But Nathan, you just spoiled it all, man.
Hellboy, listen. If the moon is physically still there on the heliocentric model, why is it not reflecting light so that we
If
can
I
see it?
can't see Nathan and I can't hear Nathan, then what proof do I have that Nathan exists?
It's a philosophical question answered in an experiment called Schrodinger's cat. Go look it up.
Can I very quickly talk about? I just went and observed the moon just one more time. I just want to confirm your observation of your moon in the northern hemisphere.
Sorry, say that again.
I just went out and had a look at my moon. I'm 1 day away from having a full moon. What's your moon doing in
Same,
the
waxing
northern
gibbous.
hemisphere?
We get the same everywhere. Waxing gibbous. That's probably the 6th time I've said it.
So you
Hey, Jazz, our moon's hiding behind the Isle of Man.
Funny how you now want to talk about the Isle of Man, Alan. I thought you said we'd had too many hours on it. Now you're bringing it back up. Amazing. Incredible, really. Seems you're addicted to it.
Nathan.
Now you're interrupting me with my name over and over again while I point out that you're bringing up something you've told us specifically not to talk about. You asked us kindly if we'd stop talking about it. I said no. Now you're bringing it up. Interesting, wouldn't you say?
It's an open debate.
Yeah, so no, but
Alan's completely right. If you look hard enough at the Isle of Man, you can see Scotland.
And if you look to the left of the Isle of Man, you look really hard, you can see Pete Shea.
That's Nick's joke. Kudos, Nick, in the chat.
No, but he's absolutely right, because what he actually means by that is if you look really hard, you can actually see Iceland.
So is it okay for him not to be very clear and precise with his words, but it's not for me?
No, but how can you see Ireland and not Iceland?
Right, let's go back to the moon. Can we finish on the moon point?
Can we?
Where's Iceland? Iceland disappeared? Where did Iceland go? Where did Iceland go? Like, I'm pretty sure.
Could I ask a question about the moon, just real quick?
If you can see Ireland, you should be able to see Iceland too.
I just have a real quick question. I was proven wrong about the moon phases. I get that. It's cool. I do have a question about the moon though. If the Earth's flat and the moon and the sun are 3,000 miles away, is that what we're all thinking?
No. Not really, but for the sake of argument, you go ahead with your point.
No, that's just my question, is that I can see the moon from the west coast of New Zealand rise above the horizon, or descend above it, sorry. But I can't see 3,000 miles away. I can see the moon perfectly rise above the horizon, but I can't see the lights of the Sydney Harbour Bridge.
Are the lights of the Sydney Harbour Bridge equivalent size to the moon, would you say?
No, but I should be able, if I can see that far.
So would you say that the angular size of the lights on the bridge are smaller than the moon? Yes or no?
Well, at the same point that the moon would be, say the middle of the moon is behind the exact middle of those lights on the Sydney Harbour Bridge, then I should be able to see them.
Do you understand what angular size is in terms of things that can be resolved by your eye based on their physical size? Do you understand that principle?
Yeah, I do. So
Right.
that's why I'm saying if I can see the moon and I can see stars thousands of light years behind that, why can't I see the lights of the Sydney Harbour Bridge that are much
Too
half the
small.
distance away?
They're
But how do you know
smaller.
that stars?
That
Smaller.
one makes a very good point, and that's exactly why.
No, it's a
That's
useless
exactly
point.
why I
The
was
moon is
asking
bigger.
you, Riley, like when the moon disappears, where does it go?
Sorry, can we just get to the end of Jazzaconda's point? So, do you understand that the moon is physically bigger than those things that you're comparing it with?
I do understand that the moon's physically bigger than those things I'm comparing it with, but how far are the stars away past that? We can see stars past
Sorry,
that.
you just
coming up on
compared
the
it to
horizon.
the bridge at Sydney, and now you're
Which are
comparing it to the stars. So, if we can just get to the end of this single point. So, do you understand that the moon is physically larger, therefore easier to see than the bridge?
Absolutely, but stars are
Right,
much
there's
dimmer
your
than
answer.
the lights
So there's
on
your answer,
the
Jazz.
Sydney Harbour Bridge.
Sorry, there's your answer. So now do you want to make a comparison between the stars and the moon instead? Because there's your answer to that question.
That still does not explain where the moon
not
went.
really at all.
Where did the moon go? Where did it go? Where did the moon go?
Was there a second part to your question, Jazz?
No, you just didn't really answer it, but that's cool. I got to go anyway. But thanks for having me. And
Okay, I'll answer it. I'll answer it again. The moon is physically larger than the lights on the bridge. That's why you can see the moon at a greater distance.
I know that, but why would there be lights, as in stars, less visible than lights on the Sydney Harbour Bridge be visible past the moon?
Do you understand that the stars in your model are considerably larger than the bulbs on the bridge?
Yes, but much dimmer than the lights that are closer.
You're crazy.
Yeah, I think this conversation's over, Jazz. Thank you very much, though.
Jazz, get the drinks tomorrow.
Yeah, Alan, I'm not sure what team you play for, but Alan Turing, good evening.
Pleasure, Jazz. Thank you for coming. Really nice to have you as always.
Crazy.
Yeah. I'm still very confused as to like where the moon went.
Where
did it go?
We know how confused you are.
Like, okay, so if the moon just disappeared,
it doesn't disappear. It's just not visible.
It's the same thing.
Is there a difference between him disappearing and not visible?
No.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Tell us what the difference is.
All right, so here's the thing, though. On the heliocentric model, the moon doesn't go anywhere, right?
No, I mean, it doesn't disappear.
Well, on the heliocentric model, the moon is physically present. Correct?
Okay, so in your model, the moon just like vanishes, it goes away.
No.
Where does it go?
No, listen. In the heliocentric model, the moon does not go anywhere. It's still in the sky, correct?
No, but in your model, it just disappears.
Forget my model. We're talking about your model. In the heliocentric model, the moon is physically
because
in
there's
the
no
sky.
sunlight reflecting off of it.
Hellboy, it's a yes or a no. On your model, the heliocentric model, do you agree that the moon does not go anywhere? It's still in the sky.
Absolutely.
Right. So it is a fact that at new moon, we cannot see it for a period of around about 2 days. 2 days. Some people get it a little bit less. Some people get it a little bit more. Nobody sees the moon.
Yes, I understand. But the question is this.
The question becomes...
my question.
Wait.
Where does it go when it disappears? Where does it go?
That's my question to you as a heliocentric person.
Where does it go? Where does it go?
That's my question to you, sir. That's my question to you. Where is it?
In the heliocentric model, you can't see it because the sun's not reflecting any light off of it.
Right. But Earthshine
in your model, it disappeared. And where did it go?
Earthshine is supposed to be a thing.
Is it hiding?
So
where's it hiding?
Soundly,
Where is it hiding?
Soundly is the only guy.
Is it hiding behind?
Can you stop interrupting?
Where's it hiding? What can it be hiding behind? There's not much out there for it to hide behind. Where can it go?
Soundly is the only.
Again, I'm very stupid. Like Nathan just, again, like 7 times.
Right, listen,
reiterated. I'm extremely stupid. explain
Hellboy.
this to me in
Are you
simpleman's terms.
intentionally interrupting me
Where
on
did the moon
purpose?
go? Where did the moon go? The moon.
Oh, Riley seems to have disappeared, just like the moon.
I'm pretty sure that it was hiding somewhere. I'm not sure where though.
Yes, it's probably hiding in Riley's fish and chip paper
Oh well.
or a pizza box.
Well,
They've gone very quiet about Ireland, haven't they, Hellboy? I wonder what
yeah.
they're hiding.
No, well, I think the problem is this: is that I think me and you, we both had the same inclination that it wasn't an island that they're seeing; it's Iceland.
No, it's not Iceland.
It must be Iceland. Where's Iceland gone then? Can't just disappear like the moon.
It's just the Isle of Man.
Yeah, but if you can see Ireland, you must be able to see Iceland.
Hi Lottie, how you doing? Good to have you. You hear us?
What's up, homies?
Good to see you.
Hi, Mr. Lottie.
Hello. Oh, hi. Hi, Alan. Apparently I'm you, so...
You're me?
Yeah, I'm a guy called Matthew Horbury, who pretends to be Lottie, who pretends to be Alan B, apparently, which is good.
Well, you have a beard and no hair.
Well, me
It's
and
true.
Alan, Lottie, me and Alan, we had a very deep conversation one day about being able to see Iceland.
Yep, I can see Iceland from St. Bees.
And I agree. I think you should be able to see Iceland from St. Bees.
We do.
No,
unless somebody
I
can... If I say we see Iceland, unless somebody proves me wrong, it's the truth.
Oh.
So then I think everybody's wrong because that's not Ireland you're seeing. It must be Iceland.
Let's have a look in chat and see what Multi Tom Tom says. He spends years and hours on YouTube. Let's see what Tom Tom says.
I think Alan's right. I think Tom Tom is probably our best go-to expert.
Yes, he seems to be. Tom Tom
Okay, well...
or that vile creature Ute.
Oh, Pube. Yeah, Pube. He's great.
He's nasty.
Okay, so let's have a little Tom Tom. A look at Tom Tom.
Tom Tom's not saying anything. Must be a first time.
Well, how is this even relevant if Tom Tom's not here?
I agree.
Well, did Tom Tom, like, maybe he's behind the moon?
Is Arwidgen here?
Oh, Ute says, F you, Alan. Drop the voice. Oh.
No, but you remember you. I'm Alan, and also Matthew. So, gotta keep your story straight.
It's all a conspiracy.
I still think Iceland is if the moon must have gone to Iceland.
I think
that's my theory. That's my theory. The moon went to Iceland. It makes sense because if you look at ice and you look at the color of the moon, they're similar colors, which means it must have gone there. Maybe that's why the moon is colored like ice.
It's like a burnt sienna in reverse.
Possibly.
Nathan's not saying much. I bet he's fallen out with Riley.
It's just noisy. My kid's got noisy toys on, that's all.
I didn't even catch that. I guess he's lost interest in the show. Riley's not here to run it. Oh well, I guess we best just chat.
It's a good thing that we have a moderator here because
yes, that's Lottie, isn't it?
Yes. I'm starting to talk like you now. Yes.
Oh,
Absolutely.
can you say Nathan and Riley, Riley and Nathan, Nathan and Riley?
Oakley,
You shouldn't
Can
call him by his second name. That's very much like what they do at school in England.
yeah, it's very British. So Oakley, can you
He's not
please help?
listening.
Can you please help me because I'm still lost as where that moon went. A missing moon is not something that we can take lightly.
He's given up. Rumpus stuck it to him.
Where is Rumpus?
He's probably umming and ahhing somewhere with the wrong windows open or getting his tabs in the wrong order.
So I really think like if this is not a globe, it must be flat.
Who knows?
Hellboy, you're supposed to be on our side. Don't say stupid things, please.
No. What I'm saying is if it's not a globe, then it must be flat. And therefore, we must be able to see iron.
That's called a false dichotomy. There are other options available. Just don't. Just stop.
Okay. Nathan, can you help me out here? Because like I'm trying to help you out now with this ludicrous.
Hellboy, Hellboy, how does it feel to be a content provider?
Sucks balls.
Maybe we could swear Nathan's not here.
Oh yeah, we could say like
Bugger.
Nathan is a bugger all. I wonder how mad Nathan is right now.
No, Nathan understands the game. He just sees this as entertainment. He's bored.
But he must be
a bored young man. He doesn't believe it's flat. He just wants to be a TV presenter.
I'm still lost. Where would the moon go? I'm so totally lost, guys. Because again, Nathan said, just as Nathan said, I'm very, very stupid. And therefore, if the moon is black, it must go somewhere. Where does it go?
It's probably gone the same place as the Isle of Man
Flat Earth
conversation.
destroyed. How you doing? Can you hear us? Hello? Can you hear us, Flat Earth destroyed?
Oh, the beautiful transvestite hairdresser is here.
How you doing, Arav? Can you hear us?
Hey, Arav.
Good to have you here.
Is that Origin? Is that Origin, the wizard?
Oh, no,
Are you Origin, the wizard?
I'm Arav.
You're not Origin, the wizard.
Nope, someone else.
No, that's the beautiful hairdresser. Transvestite hairdresser.
You're not Origin.
Oh, thanks. No, someone else.
He's
where's Origin? Is Origin hiding behind the moon?
Well, the moon, if you ask, other flat earthers would be solid, maybe probably bowl shaped, because people do say.
Yeah, but you're not Origin, are you?
No, but certain logical assumptions follow. If you see through the moon, then it has to be somewhat hollow, and if only half of it is shown, either it's only half luminous or it's bowl shaped. That's the only shape that would yield a see-through moon.
You are a complete idiot, and you're not Origin.
That is half luminous. Hey, we make
You're
assumptions.
not Origin. You're waiting for Origin.
I don't know who you're talking about.
If you're not Origin, can you just be quiet, please?
Let me see if I can. I can't share. Crap. There are videos online that show different mechanisms with a bowl-shaped moon or whatever, or half-luminous moon that would give all the moon phases and explain what's going on. And as to the different sides of the moon that you see, upside down, downside up, maybe it's rolling on its electromagnetic track, and then as it goes around the Earth, with its bowl shape or whatever.
I'm sorry. Are you Origin or not?
I've already answered that. Those are
You
the
are
phases.
Origin. You
Wait,
are Origin.
Are you Origin? Is that Origin?
No.
This is
Oh,
Origin.
hi, Origin. Origin, I needed to ask you a question. Where have you been?
No.
Arwen's not here. Arwen left ages ago.
You sound
That's
like
not
you're
how it-
driving. Are you driving while talking? That's
Yes.
illegal in the UK. That sounds
Yeah. The
That's
socialistic
dangerous.
state of the UK has all of their nanny state laws that don't allow people to live their lives. Government has to tell you to do everything, but luckily, we don't have that here, thank God. Although we're on our way. So.
Well, I hope you don't cause an accident and kill somebody. And your
Yeah,
last words would be on here.
Life
That'd
is
be
full of
awful.
risk. Intrepid men take risks to get to a better place, to a higher plateau. Believing in the flat Earth and believing in, the flat Earth is a risk.
But
Are
do
we
you
going to wait for
your
evil
last
Danny
words
Stater
be-
to tell us what to do?
your last words would be, "I am not Origin."
Don't feed the trolls.
That would be your last words. Okay.
So we have approximately half an hour left on this live stream. Hope you're enjoying the debate thus far. If you're new to the channel or you've not done so already, be sure to subscribe and hit the bell notification icon to keep up to date with the Flat Earth debate. If you would like to support this channel, there is a super chat that runs alongside the show while it's live, and a link in the info box once the video has rendered. If you would like to join the discussion, simply mute the page you are currently watching, then click the link in the info box to join the panel and express your views on the shape of the Earth. There are a couple of rules in the Hangout. Number one, please don't swear. If you do, you'll be ejected, and if you are, please don't try to rejoin the stream using sock accounts. You'll be warmly welcome back on the next stream. Please share the show if you've not done so already, as this increases the audience, and that in turn increases the chances of a more diverse panel. So please share the show. And one last time, if you are new to the channel or you've not done so already, be sure to subscribe and hit the bell notification icon to keep up to date with the Flat Earth debate. There is approximately 30 minutes left on this live stream.
Yes. 110 hours.
Hi, Nathan.
Yeah.
Mr. Oakley.
Yes. How can I help you, Lottie?
I have just got here, so I'm not trolling. But do you not think you're seeing an island anymore? Because that's what I heard, but I don't know if I'm being trolled.
We're looking at it as we speak, so we have not reached a consensus between the four of us in terms of what we are and aren't seeing.
That sounds like he doesn't believe anymore.
You had previously reached a consensus that it was definitely island. You actually said this definitely island. Are you now not saying that?
It may be retracted. As I say, at the moment we're looking at it.
No,
If it is retracted...
I don't want to know maybe. I want to know if it is or not.
Well, you have to have some patience.
Well, Oakley, what is your consensus of it possibly being Iceland?
0.
Why is that? If it's a flat Earth, it must be conceivable that it's Iceland.
What part of the world are you from, Hellboy?
The flat side. What part of the world are you from?
I'm from England.
He's from Milton Keynes.
Leamington, actually. Warwickshire.
You guys have
Leamington Spa.
Correct. Royal Leamington Spa.
Yeah. Did they have gravity there?
Where I'm from, we're very stupid here. So we don't have gravity and we don't have curvature. So we just believe everything's flat. And with that notion, I believe you're seeing Iceland.
So sorry, let me just clear up. So Nathan, are you retracting your statement that it's definitely island?
No, I've just said that. It may get retracted depending on the conclusion that gets drawn.
So
You haven't drawn a conclusion yet, Lottie.
If it hasn't been retracted as of now, are you still saying it's definitely island?
No.
I think it's Iceland.
So if you're not saying it's definitely island, then you retract the definitely island statement, surely.
No. What we've
Best
done so
proof
far,
ever,
Lottie.
retracted.
Oh,
Well,
it's
okay,
all right.
if
Alan
you-
will
if
answer
you-
for me.
Nathan,
It's all right.
this is-
Alan will
this-
answer you for me,
how
Lottie.
can,
No
Nathan,
worries.
how can you not follow a logical path
Ask
here?
Alan.
If
Alan
you're
will
not
answer for
retracting
me.
the
It's all
claim,
good.
it means you
Alan
still
will
stand
answer.
by the claim, right?
Ask Alan.
Best
No,
proof
I'm
ever,
asking you.
retracted.
Yep, you said best proof ever, definitely
Lottie,
island. I
Lottie.
just want to know if you still stand by that.
Lottie.
Yeah,
Best
go ahead,
proof
Alan.
ever, best proof ever, retracted. You can hear
okay,
that in the voice.
Oh, I can make a statement in that
I know,
regard if you
but-
like. As a result of the controversy currently being discussed amongst ourselves, I will put my stamp on this flat Earth proof becoming considerably stronger as a result. Let's put it that way. Considerably.
And do you agree then that it could possibly be Iceland?
No, I've said that twice now.
But why?
Best proof ever, retracted.
Nathan Hellboy asked you why you've ruled out Iceland. Sorry, hello, 1 2 1 2. Come in, Nathan.
Because it's very plausible it could be Iceland. Iceland has mountain peaks way higher than Ireland does, and therefore is very high likelihood that it could actually be Iceland.
Oh, well, if you're making that assertion, then I look forward to your video on the subject, Hell.
No,
Well-
I'm not trying to prove the point. You guys are.
No, I'm not trying to prove it's Iceland. I'm not an idiot like you.
Oh, well, I would appreciate being the idiot that I am, that you could possibly take into consideration that, you know, now that you've considered that it's not Ireland, that it could possibly be Iceland.
Okay, I'll do that for a moment. Let's take that into consideration.
How does that
I've
feel?
taken it into consideration, and I still think you're
How
an
does that
idiot.
feel? How does
there you
that
go.
feel?
I still think you're an idiot after taking it into consideration.
Okay, that's great.
Thanks. Yes, I
Nathan, whoa, just a second, Hellboy. Nathan, remember the lessons I taught you about moderating and not abusing your guests and how that would improve your show? And it would also improve the morale of people wanting to come onto your show?
I couldn't
Just a
care
little
less.
tip for you there.
All are welcome, Lottie. Nobody has to be here. They can vote with their feet if they don't
I
like
know.
it. Same applies as it ever
I
has.
chose to be here to aid you
Thanks
in
for
your
your advice there,
moderation
Lottie.
because you
I'll
severely
disregard
lack
your
any
advice
skills.
out of hand.
You have the
Thank you.
decorum of a
Thank you for
potato.
your useless advice, which I will be ignoring. Thank you.
No, it's not useless, no, Nathan. You have the decorum and respect of a potato.
Well, may I
Improve
say
on that.
that potato is an extremely rotten potato.
Yeah, I'll agree with you there.
Would you agree, Nathan?
No, but
I don't know,
Would
man.
you
As long as you
agree
idiots come to a
with that?
consensus on it, I'm happy.
Yeah, you agree.
Alan B wins. It's all over. It's all the Isle of Man. They never saw Ireland.
Well, it's not about Nathan, our moderator. It's about flat Earth. So you know, people are so hungry for the truth, they really don't care about moderating or whatever. So you know, people are just so hyper focused on that.
Hey, Buddy, let me just explain to you. The moderator has a certain power over how the debate goes, so it does affect what happens here. So that's why we need Nathan to be as professional and respectful as possible.
How you doing, Nettie? Good to have you here.
But you know, if you get,
Hold on,
I mean, the
Arif,
main
sorry.
thing
Hold on, we've got a new guest. How you doing, Nettie? Good to have you here.
Hello,
Can you hear us?
Can you hear me? Not sure.
Can you hear us, Nettie?
Hiya, Neto. Hi, Neto.
Hello. Can you hear me now?
Yes, we can.
Cool. Microphone's up a bit.
Good to have you
Yeah,
here.
big debate. I hear you sparked off here. Yes, the world may be flat, the world may be round. At the end of the day, you know, it's all semantics. We're all arguing about stupidity. What's all this about? I mean, why don't we just look at something, all come to a general consensus over it, and make an agreement over the debate?
Yeah,
Ding dong. This is a call out to Sniper on Deck. If you could come and save the show from these utter idiots, that would be fantastic. Thank you.
Nettie, you said the key word stupidity, because I'm a very stupid person. So Nettie, would you agree that it's very plausible that we actually seeing Iceland as opposed to Ireland in those pictures that
You might have seen a bunch of clouds reflecting on the horizon for all I know.
Yeah, that's very plausible too.
Could be
been
holographic
nothing.
projections
Could
of
have been
things that
mismatch.
aren't there. Who knows? We don't know. Who knows?
Very chance
You
it
need a
was
very powerful telescope.
there's a very good chance it was also just Isle of Man, but
If you had a very powerful telescope, you know, like, I don't know, 90 by 1,000, you'd probably be able to zoom into that and have a look at it.
way better than a fucking P900, right?
Language.
Yeah, it's not bigger than a P900. I mean, P900s are they're limited to the digital zoom, aren't they? So, you know, the perspective changes anyway.
Shout out Shruminati. Shruminati is a shout out for you there. No more.
Yeah, it's compressed into the window that the sensor can pick up, which is probably 23 mil. So, you know, it's the light surface that it picks up. It's all about light surfaces and the amount of area that the light can actually gather across to give you an image. I'm an astrophotographer myself, so I know about these things, you know. The further the distance away from the image the light takes to reflect back to it, you know, you've got to have a big, big, big mirror to see these things. You know, you just can't see them with these shitty little cameras and that. Don't work.
Language.
Oh, sorry, yeah. Sorry, I do get carried away sometimes. Yeah, so I look at the moon, I can zoom in on the moon, go 5 times with a, you know, Apostle eyepiece, and I can see the craters aren't craters. You know, they look dug out to me, that sort of thing. You know, it's like, how can an impact hit 2 points at the same time in space at the same time? It's like, wow, you know.
Electrical
Neto, did you just say that the craters aren't craters?
No, they're not. They're dug out.
Yeah, I'd agree.
You can't call something. You can't call something a crater and then say it's not the same thing. That's retarded.
He said it's not an
right,
impact crater. That's what he actually said, Lottie.
A hole in the bloody ground, then, isn't it?
So you think that the craters on the moon have been dug out by a person?
Yeah, by something or someone. Yeah.
Brilliant.
Dug
Thank you for
out.
that. That's great. Thank you.
Electrical
Nathan,
scarification
Nathan.
marks, I would call them.
What's that?
Nathan, what's happened to this show? What
do you mean?
what went wrong?
I changed the subject.
Nathan.
Nothing's gone wrong.
Nathan.
Subject, that's all.
Absolutely nothing is the answer to that, Alan. Everything's
got
great.
about 100 hours in, and his personality started to leak through, and that's why it's such an atrocious show.
It got infiltrated by Globers.
I invited them.
Nathan's
Not infiltrated. I've invited them.
Nathan's potato personality took over. He was facetious, rude, and he had an intellect of a lamppost, and that's why the show is the way it is.
Who cares about him? It's all about the flat Earth anyway.
Sometimes emotions stray and get pulled into that, and you know things do fall apart rapidly. At the end of the day, you've got to be like adult enough and big enough to carry on, you know, and get on with it. It's not the fall. It's not the bit that falls apart, mate. At the end of the day, it's the courage to carry on.
Hey, all right.
I don't get it. These Globers have control of the academic institutions in the culture. Why don't they care? Why don't they just, take a look at a different perspective? Why are they so threatened? It makes people think, maybe there's something there.
No, we just think you're.
Let me just give you an alternative to that. Obard.
Differently to protect what you've already got. You know, it's like, I don't know.
It's not protecting it. It's just you guys are morons and you don't understand. That's it. I'm not trying to be rude. That is actually what the case is. You are retarded and paranoid, and that's it. There's nothing else to it.
What you're going to do is
Hey, Lottie, don't be rude.
open mind.
Or transvestite hairdresser.
You've got to look at it with an open mind and not look at it with a closed mind. If you're looking at it with a closed mind all the time, you're never going to get anywhere. You've got to look at what if the possibilities. You've got to debate it. You've got to look at it from different angles. You've got to look at it scientifically. You've got to look at it religiously. You've got to look at it from every fucking angle possible. Sorry.
No swearing. No swearing, you
No swearing, please, Neto.
Yeah, sorry about that. I do apologise again.
No problem.
You've got to look at it from every conceivable angle.
I agree. You've got to look at it with an open mind. But what makes sense is taking the evidence into consideration. So, yeah, you can look at it with an open mind and look at all possibilities. but let the evidence guide you where you need to go. Don't just make up random stuff that you don't understand.
No, you've got to.
But the evidence is half. The evidence is half of the battle. It's also the worldview that you're willing to adopt or not. Some people won't even go down the flat Earth path partially because of their aversion to a creator, aka God. You know, people's personal prejudices also figure into this. Are atheist flat earthers too?
How you doing, Warren?
But
Can you
that's
hear
part
us?
of the reason why some
Hold on a second, guys.
Hello.
Hold on. Let's say hello to Warren. Hold on.
It's
Hold
opening
on,
us up
hold
to
on,
new
hold
possibilities.
on. I need to introduce a new
hold on,
guest. Can you all
Unreal.
shut up? Hello, Warren. How you doing? Can you hear us?
Good. Carry on. I'm just here to listen. I might
Good
jump
to have
in
you,
occasionally.
Warren.
Technology advances as an exponential
G'day,
rate that it
Rick.
is at the moment, like it has in the last 20 years. Boom! And advancing technology has gone so fast, so forward, and that's opened us to new possibilities of scientific experiments, giving us bigger telescopes, giving us different telescopes, not just the ones that you look through, ones that will pick up muons out of the atmosphere and create pictures on screens from data. You know, it's like all this shit takes time. We're slowly progressing towards it. Soon enough, fair enough, we'll find the proof and evidence. If it's there, it's there. If it isn't, it isn't. You know?
But at the same time, hold on, we have CGI artists that are still giving us NASA artistry and all sorts of CGI art and stuff. Why do we have that? Can't we just look through a telescope and be like, hey, this is what Jupiter looks like? We have these artists doing all these advertising flourishes. There's a disconnect there. We have telescopes that are so advanced that can see these things, and Hubble up there supposedly, yet we have this disconnect where we have CGI artists doing all this imaginative stuff. What's going on?
Obaid, Obaid, is there any chance you can stop speaking through your nostrils, please, and use your mouth? That'd be fantastic.
That's why I started astrophotography in the first place, to get to that point where I could take photographs of Jupiter with my own eyes and see it for what it was, and Saturn and the Moon and all the other planets that you can see when they come around eventually. You know, you catch them all at the same bloody time. It's called the procession of the heavens, where it's got to come round eventually. But if you stay in one spot for long enough, it all does go by. You see it all, you know. You'd have to keep jumping around the world to go and see these things. You just stay where you are. Like, you know.
Hey, Nathan.
Polaris stays where it is. Polaris doesn't move.
Nathan, how do you feel about all these people, so to speak, wrecking your show?
This is the show. How many times am I going to tell you? This isn't wrecking the show. The show is
Who's that
working
American guy with a
perfectly, Alan.
condescending, stupid accent?
That's the famous transvestite hairdresser.
Oh, transvestite.
Control comes to sow discord.
That's an interesting mix of ambitious. What you got?
No, she's a beautiful creature.
What, on a Saturday?
On a Saturday?
Just on a weekend, like?
No, all the time.
Oh, right, all the time, right? Yeah, whatever floats your boat, mate.
You shouldn't pick on her for that.
Usually, but you know.
Live and let live.
Yeah, live and let live. Yeah, live and let die. That was a Bond film or something.
Oh, that's rather crude. You sound like a bricky.
A bricky, yeah, northerner.
Yeah, from the north.
From the north, that's me. Yep.
Hello.
You let us down. Oh, beautiful Arwen's here.
Thank you. At least people
How was your
actually know
appointment,
what I
Alan?
look like. So
I don't care where I'm from. I'm from flaming planet Earth. If that's the way it is, then that's the way it goes. You can't change that.
hey, Raven, long time no see.
I don't think we're from this planet anyway. I think we're from somewhere else, mate.
Nobody's from a planet. We're only
Why do
from
we
this
always
realm.
travel around and around and around all our lives? We never can find anywhere to call home.
We all come from our mothers.
Yeah, obviously we do. You know, that's an obvious thing, isn't it? You know?
You shouldn't pick on these guys for being different, though. They're quite interesting.
Well, difference is what makes the world different. It'd be a bit boring place if we're all the same, won't we? All did the same thing.
Difference is what the world makes. What makes the world go square. Really.
Yeah, it makes it go round, it makes it go flat, it makes it go which any shape you want. It could be a bloody banana stuck out of a monkey's ass for all I care, you know. It's like, I don't care what shape it is. At the end of the day, we live here, we're on it, we exist, the moment is now, that's all that matters.
Fair enough.
So, Arwen, why did you come back?
Well,
He loves it here.
it's still going, so why not?
Welcome back, then.
Thank you.
All we need now is peace.
I see Riley's not here anymore.
No, he had a rage fit.
Really?
Yeah. Him and Nathan have fallen out over the photographs.
Okay, I definitely missed something then.
Origin, is that you?
Nathan doesn't believe.
Shout out to the rig. Shout out to the rig.
Hello, Origin. 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 Hello? Origin there. Hello, check 1, 2.
Yeah, I can hear you. You sound like you're in a biscuit tin somewhere. I don't know.
Yeah.
I am. I think Origin put me here. Origin, are you there? Hello?
Back of the box, bro.
Owen!
I think
Owen!
Origin's putting it. Owen's putting
Get
it.
back in your tin can, Cookie.
Cookie.
Yeah, that was rather funny. It's probably in one of the bottle of your magic powders.
I think it got started back in 1990-ish when Matt Powerland stuck a picture out there on the YouTube channel and said, "This is your Earth. Do you really think it's your Earth? Do you really think it's not just CGI?" And backed the flat Earth revolution off again from the 1800s. It all started back then. They all started debating about it. There was, you know, all the astronomers and all the bigwigs and all the Masons. They all got together. All the rest of the people in the world that, you know, wanted power. So they changed things to do themselves, to make people think differently, to make people act differently. That's all it was all about. Power, greed. The New World Order was orchestrated in the 1920s. It was put into place and orchestrated. It was done. It's been done. It's there now. We're under a New World Order. Do you get it?
Well, I mean, if
Well, it was a long plan from the start.
Yeah, if global infiltration is like this, then, you know, the flat Earth must be having a real revolution here. The powers that be must be really scared, you know, having to send out, you know, their shells to, you know, delegitimize the movement en masse and stuff. But Matt Powerland was basically saying, you know, this CGI representation of Earth didn't come from a telescope. It was made by an artist and or a CGI animator.
Yeah.
And so, you know, people are like, "Hell, why does NASA have to kind of fake these pictures and
You
stuff?"
know what
So
it's turned into?
is NASA even real? Is NASA even legitimate?
It's a circular debate. It'll go on and on and on, round and round in a circle forever.
And you can break the circle by showing people a non-fisheye lens panoramic view of space.
You can look at it whichever way you want. Perspective is in the eye of the person that sees it. And with the mechanical device that he puts in front of himself to see it clearly, even more clearer. Now,
well, people can people have spiritual discernment and can tell when people are lying to them, and they can sense the evil energy coming off of this whole thing, and so they know that they're probably being lied to by NASA.
Well, lied to, told the truth to. How do you start a conspiracy? You tell somebody a lie, then you say it's not a lie, and then that starts off a circular debate. It's the same thing.
And then you have to design everything around that light, make sure that it's believable.
You can.
That's what's called a conspiracy theory.
You can project an image into the sky and say, "Look, a UFO," when all it is a projection, and 3,000 people that see that UFO in the sky say, "Oh yeah, it was a UFO." It's the 100th monkey effect, you know?
Yeah.
The 100th monkey effect, obviously.
The problem is that people believe things a lot easier than they can prove things.
It's a general consensus of something. The story I heard, a guy down the street put out an orange bin bag, and all the other bin bags on bin day were all black. Now, everybody in his street came to his house and said, "Why have you got an orange bin bag?" And he's saying, "Because there was no spare one, so I got an orange one." Well, anyway, he eventually got his black bin bags, and after that day, nobody else ever came and knocked on his door. So it just goes to show that the community and general consensus of everybody in that community thought that there was something different about that guy. So they had to go and investigate, and they thought, well, you know, why has he got orange bin bags and we haven't? Is it jealousy? Is it different sort of opinion of people that see something different in their community that think, "Oh yeah, well that must be this, that must be that." Then all the conspiracies start, "Well, he must be special, you know, he's getting something different to us. Why is his bin bags orange, you know?"
It's non-confirmation bias.
And this is it.
And you're still missing
theory.
the point. The point is to give people the tools of discernment and let them figure it out for themselves. If there's objective truth, we'll come to similar. They might not be exactly 100% the same, but we'll come to similar conclusions, and then we'll just, you know, deal with the error as it comes around and correct people, you know, as needed. Just give people the tools. Hey, there's no curvature over here. There is curvature over here, or there's something over here that you are or aren't seeing with this model.
When they say that they have these think tanks and they put 1,000 people into a room and they're supposed to be the most intelligent people in the world and all that, it's like, well, how do they know that? How can they measure the level of intelligence in people? It's like,
No, but it's not about intelligence. It's about knowledge.
Knowledge.
The entire elite is about knowledge, like a vast amount of data, like knowing things by heart. It's not about knowing the right things. It's about knowing a lot. And people have culturally been taught to mistake knowing a lot of things with being able to distinguish what is real and what is not.
Yeah, I can see what you mean.
That is the trick.
Yeah. Because it's all smoke and mirrors.
How can you know the moon's real or not?
Well, you can figure it out with experiments. And I've mentioned all the details about this ever since I came on YouTube. All kinds of aspects about it, that you're always facing the exact same face of the moon no matter where you are, even at the same time, which is a physical impossibility if it is a literal physical object. That's a start.
Or it could be
just a start.
bullshit. Or it could have something else going on.
But that's been explained. The possibility of that's been explained.
If the moon has no rotation, or it rotates on its axis, facing forward all the time as it goes around
it faces the observer
orbit at 23 degrees, 24 degrees.
It always faces every single observer that sees the moon always in the same way, always with the same face facing the observer. And that is a physical impossibility if it's a
not unless
physical
it's
object.
a fixed object and we move past it.
It's the other way around in the southern hemisphere, is it not?
Sorry? Sorry, I missed that. Can you say that again?
No person in the world could simultaneously from different angles see the same face of the same globe at the same time. It's
Nettie is
impossible.
right.
That's a
As you
physical
pass the
impossibility
equator,
of
sorry to
the
interrupt,
space
Darwin.
itself.
He's right. You see
the actual
it
mass
upside
of the
down.
planet, even if it was a disk, it'd be physically impossible. Yeah, even with the biggest telescope on the planet, you would not be able to see from one side of it to the other. The perspective would change. It'd dip, it'd rise, it'd fall. You'd have to be above it and outside of it.
But how could that same thing work if it's a hologram?
Because it relates purely to the observer. That's the only real relation.
Power source and a bloody big lens to be able to project a hologram that big.
No, we just need eyes.
The show needs to end. It's all gone wrong. The show needs to end. It's all gone wrong. It's all gone wrong.
No, everything's great.
It's gone wrong. Where's Nathan? Is he crying? He doesn't believe anymore. Did he ever believe? The show is finished.
No.
Final words will be from Alan B. Goodbye, everyone.
Goodbye. Next time, show your actual face.
I'll show my face.
Not that easy. Might need to
Thanks,
work
Alan.
on those spells of yours to destroy the flat Earth movement or whatever it is you guys are doing. But
I don't know how to do it. You can't destroy truth.
And with that, I'm going to say, first and foremost, a huge, massive, enormous thank you to all of the live audience for tuning in and hopefully for sharing this debate. If you haven't, be sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe. I've been Nathan Oakley, and I'll see you all. Come on, little monster, let me end the show. I will see you all in the next video.